Hello, I'm going to show you an item that I think is a must-have in our celebration catalog. It's this 1/4 inch seam binding. It's called wrinkled seam binding. And the reason I think it's such a good deal is because it comes in white, for one thing, and it dyes real easy. So I'm going to show you a few ways that I have used just white seam binding to color in any color that you might like. The first way is with our markers, our alcohol markers. You take the brush end of our markers and just lay it down. As you can see, gives you a lot of nice even color, very true to the color that you use. And of course you just let that dry. That's way number one. Another idea is to use an ink pad, a re-inker. So let's use a nice bright color so you can see at this specific point. Just put a little bit of the re-inker on the thing, on the glass mat, or just any, even a plastic sheet of any kind. You can try, yeah, it works nice, just kind of pressing it inside of it full strength, or you can water it down, or you can do part of it that way, dry it, and then come back with more, kind of give it a two-tone color. Actually, it came out very one-tone. As you can see, my hands are very much of a mess from playing with all this. But anyway, you get the idea. Just play around with it. Okay. Now this is another way to add some color, is with our pigment sprinkles. Now you can do, let that dry and come back with another color would be pretty too. Would you probably want to try to leave some white spots in there to do that. So here I'm using a green, and I'll go ahead and use a contrasting color. Most of you know if you use green and red together it makes brown, but I'm going to try to keep it separate. And the way I'm going to do that, instead of spraying water on this, I should start off with clean hands, but I'm going to just spray water on my ribbon itself. Then let it fall in there. And on these pigment sprinkles, they have several different colors in one color, so one color might have 2 or 3 different colors in it. And see, just by bouncing it around inside that pigment sprinkles, how you can collect different colors. So that's another way. Okay. So now let's try some stamping. I taped some ribbon down to my grid paper. I've tried it with just the regular ink, but I thought it kind of ran too much. Maybe with a drier ink pad it might work better, so you just have to try it yourself and see what you think on a little piece of scrap. So anyway, I found that my Versum works real good, and I use this "You Mean So Much to Me" for the Forever Blooms stamp set, and I mounted on my thin block. Then I'm gonna try to line this up as best as I can, and hopefully it's kind of halfway there. Try not to put my head in the camera, but you at home would probably be better at this by going ahead and getting your head in the way. But anyway, as you can see, you can just stamp a message all the way across. Okay, this time I'm going to use this little border trim from this free stamp set called Thoughtful Blooms. And I'm going to use Versamark, my dirty Versamark, so I can see where I've been. And just stamp this across there. And you can continue that as much as you need. Then pretty quickly, I'll go ahead and get my embossing powder. Loosen up one end of this from the Scotch tape that I have taped it down with. Put my paper underneath here. See, this can be quite messy. With my little ladybug. Retape that down. That works. Now, if you do use your regular ink like the colored ink pads, you can on this. You probably would want to maybe take a credit card, especially if you have a juicy ink pad, and scrape the ink to the side so it won't be quite a juicy stamp, and then come back with your heat tool and dry that real quick, because it will tend to run. I did try that on one, and that's what I have found. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, see these? I tried the leaves and see how it ran. But if you did that with a less juicy ink pad, it might work. So anyway, play around with it and see what you come up with. If you come up with something good, leave a comment below and help others with different ideas. So thank you for stopping by, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.